Christian. It's so nice to see you again. How are you doing today?
You too. I'm doing good today. Like, I had a really good day today. I went to church this morning with my family, and we had like a church cookout, which was really good. But this week has been a little bit hectic at my house, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, would you like to tell me more about your week, or?
Yeah, it's just the same thing that it always is. My parents, they're just so, like, overbearing, controlling,
Mm-hmm.
and, like, they're very, we gotta go to church this time, we gotta go here. Like, we've got to do everything together. Like, they want to do everything together.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, like, always my mom's way, and I'm really close to my mom, so I don't ever, like, want to defy, like, what she wants for me,
Mm-hmm.
but it just gets, like, exhausting, like, mentally exhausting. Like, you're always trying to please someone, and that's hard. Like, you can't please everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So then I get, like, overwhelmed because I'm like, well, just, I don't know, forget it, I guess.
So you feel like that if you don't do something a certain way as, or per se meeting your mom's standards to do something, you get overwhelmed by the feeling of not meeting those standards that she has for you.
Yeah, I always get overwhelmed by trying to please her. And then, like, my stepdad, because my dad's not in the picture. Like, my dad, we're not very close or anything. Like, he calls me, like, whenever he needs me, but that's about it. And, like, I don't really, like, go out of my way to talk to him either. But my stepdad, he's always, like, that silent person. Like, you want to know what he's thinking, but he's not going to express what he's thinking until something bad happens. And then he's going to be like, well, why'd you do this? Why'd you do this? But my mom, she's, like, very vocal about, well, I have these standards for you. You need to do this. You need to do this. And, like, she won't get off my back some days because she's just annoying. And I just get annoyed. And then, because usually I'm pretty calm. And then when I get annoyed, I'm just like, can you just get away from me? So I don't want to, like, snap on her. So I don't really know what to do. And I think a lot of it is, like, us being back under the same house. Like, under the same roof. Under the same house. Under the same roof. Because in college, like, I could call her whenever I wanted to call her, and it wasn't like we had to talk or see each other every day. And actually, like, then, like, I enjoyed talking to her because I was, like, asking her for advice or just telling her about my day. And now it's like I live back under the roof, so financially, like, yeah, they're the ones over the money and, like, I mean, letting me live there for free. Like, I don't pay rent, but I pay my car insurance and some other bills. I pay, like, $800 a month on bills, and I only make, like, $750 every 2 weeks through the job that I have right now. So that's kind of stressful. Like, I just got out of college, and, like, I thought that I'd have an awesome job, and, like, life has not turned out how I thought it was going to turn out. So I don't know. And I question God a lot, I guess, and my mom's like, both our parents are, like, totally against that, because I've never got to, like, it's always been, you get up, you go to church on Sundays, like, you go on Wednesday nights to church. I've never, like, experienced just, like, finding myself, like, identity, like, where I want to go with life, what I want to believe in. So if I did, I know it would be a huge deal. Like, one time I went to a Catholic church, and it was out of my comfort zone, but it was neat to get to experience that. So, like, I would like to go to other churches and just see, like, how they interact and, like, what it's like. But, no, not for her.
So you feel like religiously, you are looking to meet your mom's standards.
Yeah.
You're kind of following where they expect you to go.
Yeah. And it's, like, one of those things where you don't backtalk your elders, you don't defy your elders. So, and I would never want to have, like, a bad relationship with her. But, like, you eventually have to get to a point where you're like, it's my life and I'm going to do what I want to do. So I would love to move out, and every time that I bring up, like, moving out or anything like that, they kind of shut it down, and they're like, well, why don't you stay here another year or another 2 years just to save money? Like, it's a great idea to save money, and it is a great idea to save money. But if your mental health is suffering, then it's not a great idea. And I just, like, want to get out of it.
So you feel like your relationship with your parents kind of falls short within while you live with them. So it was better when you were away. You felt like you had a
Yeah.
stronger relationship. You weren't nagging or anything like that.
Yeah, like
towards each other.
I looked forward to like coming home on the weekends and like spending time with them and doing things with them.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's just like I try to fill up my schedule every day with something so I don't have to go home.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I go home and I just go to sleep and I just wake up and go to work the next day, then I don't really see them, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So then we have that issue where my mom's like, oh my gosh, we never see you. Like, you're always gone. Do you ever just take a minute to just stay at home? Like, no, I don't want to be here because if I am, you're just going to nag me about something else.
Mm-hmm. So you feel like when you are there under their roof, under their financial and emotional protection per se, you feel like they have that control over you.
Yeah.
Okay. And you don't want them to feel like they have that control, and if you were to move out, they wouldn't have that control.
Right.
Okay.
Financially, it's bad because, like, my mom, she works at a bank, and, I mean, she's always, like, checking my account, like, this is how much money in your account. Why did you spend money on this? Why did you spend money on this? Like, I go to work every day. I have 2 part-time jobs, a full-time job and 2 part-time jobs, and she's still trying to micromanage, like, my accounts, what I'm spending money on, and things like that. And to an extent, yeah, I think everyone does need someone to be like, don't buy stupid stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm spending it on things that I think I'm going to use, like, you don't really have a say in it. So at one end of it, I'm very fortunate to have parents that love me so much and, like, do want me to live under their roof. But at the other end, I'm like, I just need to be free and do my own thing and, you know, just go wherever I want to go.
So you feel like their voice of reason per se as giving you advice is turned into, or has been, control. It's not like,
yes,
you need to do this because of this, but it's more like you have to do this.
Yeah.
Is that kind of...
Yeah. It's kind of like you've got to do this or we're going to be upset with you. And it's like manipulation, kind of. Like, if you don't do this, we're not going to pay for this, or we're not going to do this.
So they give you like an ultimatum per
Like
se.
an ultimatum, yeah.
Yes.
And one time, this isn't like my mom or stepdad, but it was my dad, and he was like, if you don't do this, I'm just going to take the car back that I got you. And I was like, I will gladly park the car in your parking lot, in your driveway. Like, you're not going to hold that over me. So I think it's just a lot of different personalities, too. Like, my mom is very... I'm right all the time. My stepdad's very, like, cool, calm, and collect, and he doesn't say anything until he, like, feels like he has to say something. And I'm very, like, upbeat, go with the flow, just go wherever my friends are, go on trips. So it's just a lot of personalities, I guess.
So you feel like...
one roof.
Yeah. So you feel like the personalities clash within the house, so that's where maybe the issues are coming from.
Yeah.
Is the personality clashing.
Yeah. And I kind of feel like my parents aren't, like, happily married. Like, I kind of feel like they're just not what I would want to be, I guess. So I think that kind of brings a little, like, more of attachment for my mom, like, to me. Like, because they don't seem, like, happily married. I don't know. And, like, my stepdad, he just goes to work, comes home, watches TV, goes to bed at, like, 9 o'clock. Because he does work, like, a really odd, shift. So, but I think that just makes her more like, Katie, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, she just needs me. Like, and without me, she's going to be lost. I don't know. Yeah, so, and you, like, don't want to leave her because you're like, well, without me, you're going to be lost. But then at the same time, like, I can't stay here because you want me to stay here. Like, I can't do everything you want me to do just because you want me to do it. Like, there's got to be some kind of, like, not compromise, not respect. I don't know what word to use, but there needs to be a balance or something.
So you feel like with her possibly having that unhappy marriage, that she is reliant on you for that happiness that she lacks within her own marriage.
Yeah.
So if you're not there, then she would be miserable without you. So you feel an obligation to make sure she does meet that happiness where she's not getting with it
Yeah.
with her husband.
Right. Yeah. And I'm going to get married soon, too. So I think that'll be, like, a huge deal whenever I move out. Because I'm like, I don't know what she's going to do whenever I leave. Because it'll be, like, an hour away. So it's just, I don't know. I don't know whether to, like, cry or whether to, like, laugh it off. Because in awkward situations, I'm always just like, it'll be fine. But right now, I don't feel like it's going to be fine. I don't know what to do.
So you feel like, though you did move out that first time and you felt like your relationship was stronger,
Yeah.
that if you do move away, as in starting a new life with someone else, starting a family per se, that the relationship won't be as good.
Yeah.
Just because you're kind of, even with being in college, she was able to still kind of have that a little bit of control per se.
And like advice, like she was like the advice go-to, but now that I'm like getting married, like that's the person I'm probably, like you're always gonna have your mom, but most likely I'm gonna be like, hey honey, like what do you think I should do? And I feel like she feels like her kid's being taken away. Like, you know, if you're like relocating, you're not gonna see each other as much. Like I'm obviously gonna get a job wherever he is, and it's just gonna be really tough for her, I feel like. And I don't know what she'll do. I mean, I have other siblings too, but she's always like, I'm the one she's always relied on to do everything. So whenever I move away, like they're not gonna pick up the slack.
Okay. So when you do move out, do you feel like you yourself won't hold the relationship? Or do you feel like because of that animosity between that you moving out and starting your own life, that the animosity between you two would have a effect on just your future relationship in general?
I don't know. Like now, in this moment, I feel like I'm like her right hand. Like she can't do anything without me. And like she calls me like 10 times a day, just to be like, hey, what are you doing? So whenever I like leave and like get a new job and get a husband and want to spend time with him, I'm not gonna talk to her that much. Like I'm not gonna talk to her as much as I am like right now. And that's gonna take a lot of her like adjusting to that. And I think there will be a little bit of probably some issues between us, or maybe not issues, I don't want to say, but just a little bit of like tension between us, because she's gonna feel like left out. But she's even said like, I'll move to where you are, like we'll move to where you are. And I'm like, you're gonna uproot your whole life just to follow me when you have other kids too.
So are you feeling kind of stuck on what to do within that? Is that what I'm hearing? Kind of you're unsure how you feel about, like you want to move, but you're struggling with actually leaving your life here.
Yes.
Okay.
And like my issue is I'm like an opinion person, so I'll ask around like all my friends and be like, what should I do? But at the end of the day, even with all their opinions, like, and they might give me really great advice, I still don't listen. Like I still don't know what to do. But I think, because I don't just like ask one person, I'll ask like 3 or 4 people and they'll all have different opinions. And I'll be like, you know, I don't know what to do, help me, like whatever. And they tell me their opinion, but I'm like, I have no clue what to do. Like right now, the guy that I'm about to get married to, he has definitely messed up multiple times, like in the past. And my best friend's like, you know, you don't need to be with him. My mom's like, and that's something too. Like my mom's like, not. In the beginning, she was very for him, and now, like, we broke up and got back together and stuff, and she's not as, like, oh, he's so awesome anymore. She's kind of like, he hurt you, he'll hurt you again. And now we're going to get married, so that could end up in divorce, and it's just,
So she has expressed, amongst other people, what they feel like you should do.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you feel like you should do what you want to do, even with all that advice that you're getting. Are you able to kind of see their perspective on things? Like, are you able to use some of their advice to go towards that goal of your life.
Yeah.
To move on.
I use their advice and I see their perspective, but I feel like I really am in love with this guy and I don't know what to do, and I'm just God, can you just give me an answer? And then that's a whole other topic because I'm God, why don't you just give me a big sign that says go this way or don't go this way? And I don't know, it just makes me want to pull out my hair.
So you're trying to also rely on that religion to try to see if within that there is a way to go.
And that's always their advice. God will show up when he's supposed to. God will lead the way. God will, and I'm that's great advice. I love Jesus, but nothing's happening. I don't know, nothing's happening. I'm not getting a big red sign saying go this way or go that way. And that's all my mom says. My whole family, the whole side of the family, is just so religious all the time. So I'm is this God thing for me, or can I go explore other faiths and see if I fit in better there?
So,
but that's gonna definitely devastate them.
So you're trying to find your identity within your religion, as well as within your own relationship with your fiance, boyfriend, and so on one side you don't want to just disappoint your family, but on the other you want to kind of find yourself for yourself, so that you're not just being who they want you to be, per se. Okay.
I need to definitely find myself for myself. I think that I just need to find better coping mechanisms for one. Because I've started smoking recently and my mom is so not happy about that. Yeah. So that's not a healthy coping mechanism. But it relieves my stress. And maybe I need to go for some walks or hikes or something. I don't know. Maybe I just need to take a long trip and just try to find spirituality. Maybe not God, but just spirituality in a long trip and just go sit out in the middle of the wilderness.
So you feel like that?
Maybe I'm an escape person. When stuff's not going right, I just try to escape it.
Instead of hitting it head on, per se.
Yeah.
So you want to kind of explore other things in order to find yourself, such as, the wilderness or something like that. So where you can find yourself in something else other than your family and even your relationships.
And I need to try to find the best, wake up every day and choose to be happy, and try to do that every day. Even though some days are hard, I think I really need to do that. Because sometimes I just don't feel content. It's just your life's not going how you planned it to. You're stuck. So you're not content and you're always searching for something better. But what is really, tomorrow, I might not even have tomorrow. No, I'm not suicidal.
Okay. Well, so kind of go over what we've discussed. You definitely are in having identity issues within your religion as well as within your family. You're struggling to kind of see what or who you want to be versus who your parents want you to be, and as far as you wanting to please them, you also feel you want to be content yourself. And so you don't feel content right now kind of doing what they're wanting you to do, kind of having that control. So you want to explore other things within your life so that you have a relationship with them rather than a dictatorship.
Right.
So, you want to stay close with your parents. You want to
yeah, definitely.
abide by their rules. Try to, definitely go to them for their wisdom or advice or something like that. But that you also want to be able to choose your decision at the end of the day. You want to make that choice by yourself, but with kind of their guidance per se, and not kind of this is how it's supposed to be. So you're kind of struggling with that. And you also mentioned kind of your coping mechanisms. You've recently started smoking, and you realize that that's not a healthy coping mechanism. So you feel like maybe trying something else within that coping mechanisms, like hiking or something, getting down to spirituality rather than even apart from religion, because you mentioned that yes, it's important to lean on God's understanding, but you're also kind of not seeing those signs that you feel like you need to see.
Right.
So you want to kind of maybe explore something else to see if either God shows you within there or something else kind of leads your way into those decisions. So is there anything else you would like to discuss today? I know we're close to closing down. Any final remarks or anything like that you feel like you need to get off your chest? Would you have a session next week scheduled that we can maybe explore more things within this, working on the coping mechanisms as well as trying to help you find yourself within your family and your religion so that you feel like you're meant to be there per se?
Yeah. No, it just feels better to like release all that and just say it because people don't really understand like where you're coming from. But I think I'm gonna work on not smoking this week, and hopefully next week we'll have good news. So.
All right. Well, it was lovely talking to you again.
Thank you so much.
We'll see you next week.
Thanks.